The silent poison. You've felt it before. That subtle chill when someone enters the room. The way their smile doesn't reach their eyes. The way words feel heavier than they should, or laughter echoes a little too sharply. Maybe you tried to ignore it. Maybe you convinced yourself it was nothing, just stress, just a misunderstanding, just life. But deep down, you knew. Some people don't just dislike you. They secretly hate you. And here's the hardest part, you can't always see it directly. Hate rarely announces itself with shouting or fights. It hides in silence, in subtle mockery, in imitation, in compliments that cut instead of uplift. It's a quiet poison, and if you don't recognize it, it can eat at your confidence, your energy, even your sense of reality. Today, we're going to uncover it. We're going to reveal the 10 hidden signs that people secretly hate you. And more importantly, we're going to teach you how to spot it, survive it, and rise above it. So buckle up. If you've ever doubted your instincts around people, this is for you. 1. Their smile never reaches their eyes. At first, you might dismiss it. After all, people fake smiles all the time, for politeness, for work, for social comfort. But there's a difference between polite smiles and smiles that mask resentment. When someone secretly hates you, their smile is a performance. Their lips curve, but their eyes remain cold. Their laugh echoes, but it doesn't reach warmth. You might notice tiny tells, the twitch of a jaw, a flash of impatience, a glance away. Real smiles, the ones that convey joy, connection, and empathy, light up the entire face. Fake smiles. They're heavy with tension, like they're trying to convince themselves as much as you. Cinematic example. Picture a group of friends at a cafe. Someone cracks a joke. Laughter erupts. Then you speak, maybe share something personal, maybe just comment casually. Their smile is there, but their eyes? Empty. Mechanical. Frozen. You laugh along, pretending not to notice, but your subconscious senses the chill. That subtle distance in their gaze is the first sign, a hidden warning that something isn't right. Psychological insight. Psychologists note that humans subconsciously detect micro-expressions, tiny facial cues that reveal true feelings. Even if the person smiles, the absence of warmth in the eyes is a silent indicator of concealed negativity. When you start noticing smiles that don't match intent, pay attention. Your gut knows more than you think. 2. They go silent when you speak. We've all been in that room. You open your mouth, and suddenly, silence. Not peaceful quiet. Not focused attention. Awkward, heavy, draining silence. Everyone else talks freely, laughs, shares stories. But the moment you add your voice, something shifts. Eyes glance at each other, someone coughs nervously, a phone suddenly seems urgent. Your words float into the void. At first, you blame yourself. Maybe you said something boring. Maybe the timing was off. But patterns don't lie. If it happens consistently, it's not coincidence. Real-life example. In a college classroom, a student named Ifioma raises her hand to answer a question. The class is lively, everyone is engaged, but when she speaks, the air changes. The clique of students she sits with exchange looks, yawn, scribble in their notebooks. Later, when the professor praises her idea, they talk over her, dismissing her contribution. Silence wasn't peace. It was erasure. Why it happens? Hate often hides in control. People who secretly dislike you may choose silence over confrontation, using absence of reaction as a weapon. They erase your voice, hoping to make you doubt your presence, your worth, your confidence. And it works. The brain reacts to social ostracism much like it reacts to physical pain. Silence can hurt far more than an insult shouted in anger. 3. You always feel like you're the punchline. There's a cruel humor that doesn't feel funny. It happens in conversations, in group chats, at family dinners. You share something personal, something vulnerable, and suddenly, it's a joke. The room laughs. You laugh too, because what else can you do? But inside, something stings. These aren't playful jabs, they're calculated digs disguised as humor. Example. Imagine sharing a career win with colleagues. Someone responds. Wow, you got a promotion. Guess miracles still happen. Everyone laughs. You force a smile. But the joke wasn't about joy or connection, it was a subtle way of diminishing you. Psychologists call this covert hostility. By masking hate as humor, the person avoids confrontation while asserting dominance. The laugh belongs to the room, your discomfort belongs only to you. How to spot it? The joke always targets your insecurities. They exaggerate your habits to make others laugh. You feel smaller after every funny moment. If this happens consistently, it's not playful teasing. It's a weapon. 4. They imitate you, but mockingly. Imitation can feel flattering, until it isn't. When someone secretly hates you, they may start copying your words, gestures, outfits, or ideas. At first, it seems innocent. Then, it turns sinister. They exaggerate your habits to mock you. They twist your tone to make it humorous at your expense. They mirror your style, but not to admire, to diminish. Real-life story. Chidinma had a best friend, Ada. Ada started wearing the same clothes, using the same slang, even posting the same captions online. At first, Chidinma laughed, but then Ada began mocking her laugh and repeating private thoughts as jokes in public. The imitation wasn't admiration anymore. It was resentment in disguise. 5. Compliments that don't feel right, the poison in praise. Backhanded compliments are one of the most subtle forms of covert hate. At first, they feel harmless, even flattering. But underneath the polite words, there's a hidden sting designed to plant doubt in your mind. Oh, you actually look good today. You're so confident, for someone like you. You got that done. Well, I didn't expect it. These aren't compliments, they're traps. They carry layers of judgment disguised as praise. You might smile, nod, and say thank you, but inside, you feel that flicker of unease. The subtle psychology. Fake compliments serve as a form of control. By praising you with a twist of doubt, they subtly communicate, I'm above you, but I'm allowing you this small moment of recognition. Psychologists call this covert aggression. Unlike overt hostility, it avoids conflict but still undermines confidence. It's clever, and dangerous, because it leaves you questioning yourself instead of them. Real-life example. Imagine a workplace scenario. You submit a well-researched report to your manager. A colleague leans over and says, "Wow, you actually did a good job here. I didn't think you'd manage it." On the surface, it seems like a compliment. But the phrasing, actually, hints at doubt. It's not recognition, it's a reminder of perceived inadequacy. Over time, these micro-attacks chip away at self-esteem, leaving you anxious around people who should be allies. How to respond? Notice the pattern. One offhand comment isn't a red flag. Repeated backhanded compliments are. Acknowledge, but don't overreact, smile politely, and move on. Anchor your self-worth, remind yourself that their judgment says more about them than you. 6. Exclusion without explanation, the silent erasure. Exclusion is cruelty in plain sight. People who secretly hate you often erase your presence from conversations, events, and social circles, without ever directly confronting you. Group photos you weren't invited to. Conversations that stop when you enter the room. Spontaneous gatherings that conveniently exclude you. The goal is subtle, make you question your belonging. Psychological insight. Humans are wired to fear social rejection. Silent exclusion leverages this instinct. By making you feel invisible, they gain control over your emotional state without ever speaking a word of confrontation. Real-life example. Consider a friend group where a weekly dinner is a tradition. You show up one week, and suddenly, everyone mentions an outing you weren't invited to. They claim it was spontaneous. Coincidence? Rarely. This is strategic invisibility, a way to establish dominance without confrontation. How to respond? Observe patterns rather than isolated events. Protect your peace, you don't have to beg for inclusion. Focus your energy on people who genuinely value your presence. 7. Overly polite, cold politeness. Sometimes, hate doesn't roar. Sometimes, it whispers, and it wears a smile. Some people hide their hostility behind a perfect veneer of manners. They are careful, precise, flawless in etiquette. Every word is polite, every gesture calculated. But your intuition tells you something is off. Eyes avoid yours as if direct contact might betray something. Smiles feel tight, rehearsed, almost mechanical. Gestures are minimal, they lean back, they nod without warmth, they speak in measured tones. This is hostility in disguise, often called social camouflage. Outwardly, everything appears civil. Yet every interaction leaves a subtle weight pressing down on you. Picture this: you're in a corporate meeting. A colleague compliments your presentation, perfectly worded, polite, with a nod of acknowledgement. But as the meeting progresses, you notice, every time you speak, their eyes flick toward the exit, their shoulders stiffen, their smile disappears. Later, you leave the room feeling unsettled, unsure if you overreacted. That heaviness in your chest isn't imagination. It's the residue of cold politeness, a silent game of control. By maintaining civility, they avoid confrontation but keep the emotional upper hand. Psychological insight. Cold politeness allows individuals to suppress hostility while still communicating dominance. It's subtle manipulation, a way to remind you of your place without ever uttering a hostile word. How to respond? Notice the energy, not just words. Pay attention to microsignals, tone, body language, energy shifts. Keep interactions brief if drained. Politeness is not a reason to sacrifice your emotional energy. Focus on genuine warmth. Cultivate relationships where civility comes with sincerity, not suppression. 8. You feel drained after interactions, emotional leakage. Some people don't insult you or attack directly. They silently leech your energy. Conversations with them leave you anxious, exhausted, or questioning yourself. You replay moments endlessly, analyzing every word, gesture, and pause. This is emotional leakage, a subtle but pervasive form of covert hostility. Even without words of disdain, their presence can erode confidence. Imagine meeting a friend who always asks about your day. They lean in, smile politely, nod while you speak. On the surface, they're attentive. But hours later, you feel drained, anxious, and unsure of yourself. Their questions weren't curiosity, they were probes, a silent measure of control. Psychological insight. Some individuals unconsciously manipulate energy dynamics. By subtly draining you, they reaffirm their sense of superiority and maintain a quiet dominance. It's invisible, but your body and mind recognize it immediately. How to respond? Set boundaries, limit time and emotional energy with people who drain you. Validate your feelings, exhaustion is a signal, not a flaw. 9. They secretly celebrate your failures, schadenfreude. Few things are more revealing than the hidden joy someone takes in your misfortune. Psychologists call this schadenfreude, the satisfaction or pleasure derived from another person's setbacks. When someone secretly hates you, your failure becomes their private celebration. They don't cheer your growth or applaud your effort, they quietly measure themselves against your missteps, and in those moments, they feel superior. Behavioral signs. People who harbor covert resentment may subtly remind you of past mistakes, often wrapped as advice or concern. Respond with hollow concern, well, I guess this teaches you a lesson. Treat your setbacks as a leveling tool, a way to validate their sense of control or superiority. Imagine a colleague named Tolu who is known for subtle envy. You worked late for a major project, delivering an impressive result. At first, Tolu nods politely and says, "Great job, impressive work this time." But there's a flicker in their eyes, almost imperceptible, a shadow of satisfaction at the memory of a past project you mishandled. Later, during a team discussion, Tolu leans in with a sly remark. "Remember last month? Not everyone learns as quickly as others." The words are casual, almost joking, but the intention is crystal clear. They're measuring your progress not to celebrate it, but to remind you, and the room, that they are always watching, always comparing. In their mind, your success doesn't elevate you, it threatens them, and your mistakes bring a twisted sense of comfort. Inner reflection. You might catch yourself replaying the conversation, feeling a pang of insecurity. That's the trap. Schadenfreude thrives on self-doubt, on making you question whether your achievements are truly earned. The key is awareness, recognizing that their glee is not about you, but about their unresolved envy. How to respond? Recognize the motive. Your setbacks don't lift them, they reveal their insecurity. Don't seek their approval, their opinion reflects themselves, not you. Celebrate with real allies, share wins with people who genuinely support your growth. Pro tip: mentally separate their reactions from your self-worth. Their pleasure at your failure is a reflection of their limitations, not your abilities. Sign number 10, energy shifts when others praise you, the ultimate reveal. This is the final, most revealing sign of secret hate, the subtle energy shift when someone sees you being celebrated. It's hard to detect if you're unaware, but once you notice it, you'll never miss it again. Behavioral signs. Supporters smile openly, eyes bright, genuinely excited. Secret haters stiffen, redirect conversations, or minimize your success. Even if they verbalize admiration, micro-expressions, a tight jaw, a flicker of avoidance, body leaning away, betray their feelings. The hidden chill in recognition. The conference room buzzes with excitement. A subtle hum of conversation, the clinking of coffee cups, and the low shuffle of papers fill the air. You've just wrapped up your presentation, a project months in the making, and now your manager is giving you recognition in front of the team. Applause erupts. Genuine smiles light up faces around the room. Colleagues lean forward, nod, some even offering heartfelt congratulations. You feel a surge of pride, a warmth that comes from knowing your hard work has been noticed. And then you notice them. One person, let's call them Alex, who always seemed friendly, steps forward to clap. At first glance, it's the expected congratulatory gesture, a polite smile, a clap on the table. But something in their movement is off. The smile doesn't reach their eyes, it feels forced, almost rehearsed. Their gaze drifts to the window mid-clap. Their jaw tightens ever so slightly, a flicker of tension running across their face. Their body leans subtly away, as though distance could shield them from your achievement. You feel it immediately. That almost imperceptible chill, like the air itself, shifts around them. It's not just in their actions, it permeates the space between you. For a split second, you question yourself, was your excitement too loud? Did you somehow overstep? And then you catch it, their words, polite as ever. Congratulations, well done. Polite. Perfect. But their energy screams a different message. I wish that were me. You shouldn't be shining this way. Inner reflection. Your subconscious processes these cues before your conscious mind even registers them. That subtle unease, the sudden self-consciousness, the tightening in your chest, the tiny hesitation in your smile, isn't imagined. It's the body's reaction to unconscious emotional signaling, a silent but powerful way people reveal envy, resentment, or concealed hate without ever uttering a hostile word. It's unnerving because there's no confrontation, no argument, no overt attack. And yet, the impact is unmistakable. The tension sits in your mind long after the meeting ends, replaying in snippets of thought: did I come across the wrong way? Was I too boastful? Did I somehow provoke this energy? How to respond? Recognizing this subtle form of hostility is liberating. It's not your responsibility to fix it or seek approval. Here's how to handle it. Observe energy, not just words, microsignals, body shifts, facial expressions, tone, and posture reveal intentions far more clearly than spoken words. Trust your instincts. Shine authentically, continue to express confidence, pride, and competence. Authenticity neutralizes covert hate because it cannot be easily undermined by subtle resentment. Anchor yourself in self-worth. Validation from someone who secretly resents you is irrelevant. Their reaction reflects their own insecurities, not your value. The hidden chill in recognition. The conference room buzzes with excitement. A subtle hum of conversation, the clinking of coffee cups, and the low shuffle of papers fill the air. You've just wrapped up your presentation, a project months in the making, and now your manager is giving you recognition in front of the team. Applause erupts. Genuine smiles light up faces around the room. Colleagues lean forward, nod, some even offering heartfelt congratulations. You feel a surge of pride, a warmth that comes from knowing your hard work has been noticed. And then you notice them. One person, let's call them Alex, who always seemed friendly, steps forward to clap. At first glance, it's the expected congratulatory gesture, a polite smile, a clap on the table. But something in their movement is off. The smile doesn't reach their eyes, it feels forced, almost rehearsed. Their gaze drifts to the window mid-clap. Their jaw tightens ever so slightly, a flicker of tension running across their face. Their body leans subtly away, as though distance could shield them from your achievement. You feel it immediately. That almost imperceptible chill, like the air itself, shifts around them. It's not just in their actions, it permeates the space between you. For a split second, you question yourself: was your excitement too loud? Did you somehow overstep? And then you catch it, their words, polite as ever. Congratulations, well done. Polite. Perfect. But their energy screams a different message. I wish that were me. You shouldn't be shining this way. Inner reflection. Your subconscious processes these cues before your conscious mind even registers them. That subtle unease, the sudden self-consciousness, the tightening in your chest, the tiny hesitation in your smile, isn't imagined. It's the body's reaction to unconscious emotional signaling, a silent but powerful way people reveal envy, resentment, or concealed hate without ever uttering a hostile word. It's unnerving because there's no confrontation, no argument, no overt attack. And yet, the impact is unmistakable. The tension sits in your mind long after the meeting ends, replaying in snippets of thought: did I come across the wrong way? Was I too boastful? Did I somehow provoke this energy? How to respond? Recognizing this subtle form of hostility is liberating. It's not your responsibility to fix it or seek approval. Here's how to handle it. Observe energy, not just words, microsignals, body shifts, facial expressions, tone, and posture reveal intentions far more clearly than spoken words. Trust your instincts. Shine authentically, continue to express confidence, pride, and competence. Authenticity neutralizes covert hate because it cannot be easily undermined by subtle resentment. Anchor yourself in self-worth. Validation from someone who secretly resents you is irrelevant. Their reaction reflects their own insecurities, not your value. Pro tip: treat these energy shifts as a mirror, not a judgment. Their responses tell you about them, their limitations, and their envy, never about your worth or your accomplishments. Conclusion: freedom lies beyond recognition. Recognizing these signs, from cold politeness to emotional drainage, from covert celebration to energy shifts, is not about labeling people as bad. It's about reclaiming your power, peace, and clarity. You can smile without asking permission. Shine without fear. Speak without hesitation. Walk your path without apology. When you stop seeking validation from those who secretly resent you, you reclaim your energy, your focus, and your authenticity. Hate loses its grip when it meets someone anchored in self-worth. When people secretly hate you, their energy tries to pull you down. Your peace, your clarity, and your self-respect pull you up. You can now move forward untouchable by covert hostility, confident in your light, and free from the subtle chains of resentment. Every room you enter, every achievement you celebrate, becomes yours, untouched by envy, and unshaken by hidden hate.